everyone, welcome or welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. If you're new to my channel, my name is Melissa and I'm a nursing student. So before I get started with today's video, I just want to get two quick things out of the way. The first one is to say thank you guys so much from the bottom of my heart to everybody who has recently subscribed to my channel. If you enjoy the content on my channel and you have not yet subscribed, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button. And then the second thing that I would like to get out of the way is just a really quick disclaimer. If you've seen my previous videos, then you already know I attend Chamberlain University and I'm going to be talking about Chamberlain in this video. You can tell if you've already seen the title of this video, but I just want to say that I am in no way affiliated with the school other than being a student. Chamberlain has not said anything to me about my videos. However, I have gotten a couple of comments and questions now asking me like if I'm paid to make these videos or if I'm sponsored by Chamberlain. I wish, that would be amazing, but I am not affiliated with the school in any way other than being a student. So I'm not asked to make these videos, I'm not paid to make these videos. These are all just my personal opinion and my personal experience attending Chamberlain. So with all of that out of the way, I'm gonna get right into today's video, which if you saw the title of the video, you can already guess. Today I'm going to be talking about common myths and misperceptions of Chamberlain University. If you have not seen my previous videos, then you may or may not know that I attend Chamberlain University's evening and weekend BSN program. Chamberlain is a university or a private institution really, and they have campuses throughout the country. They also have like an online campus. I attend their Tyson's Corner campus, which is located in Northern Virginia, and I'm currently a senior. So I'm getting my bachelor's degree in nursing. I've been there the last 2 years. It's a 3-year program to get your bachelor's degree in nursing. And so now I am in my 3rd year, so I'm officially a senior. And I thought that it would be a good idea to do a video just talking about a couple of the very common myths and misconceptions that I've heard about the school. Before I attended Chamberlain, I heard all of these myths and misconceptions, and I did a lot of research on it. Now I've attended the school for a few years, and I just thought it was really interesting, and I have not seen any videos just debunking these myths or talking about these myths. Some of them can be debunked, some of them there's a little bit more that goes into it. So today I'm just going to be talking about that. So the first misconception that I'm going to go over, and I don't know if this is a misconception or a myth, but I have seen it being asked quite a bit online, is Chamberlain a legitimate university, or people questioning whether Chamberlain is a legitimate school. So Chamberlain is a legitimate private institution. It's a private university that has campuses online, and they also have physical campuses throughout the nation. I attend the Virginia campus, the campus in Northern Virginia. But aside from the fact that they're like a real university that has campuses throughout the nation, they also offer different programs. So of course on my channel, I strictly talk about nursing, specifically the bachelor's in nursing program, but Chamberlain also has like a bridge program. If you're already a registered nurse, you can do a bridge program to get your bachelor's degree in nursing. They of course have the program that I'm in, which is just a straight up BSN, but then they also have like a master's in nursing program. They have, I believe, an NP, a nurse practitioner program. And then aside from just the umbrella of nursing, they offer other programs. Like I believe they have a program to get your master's in social work. They have a program for you to get your master's in public health. Like it's a legitimate school that offers different degrees. So I'm not sure where that misconception comes from. Now, when it comes to the nursing program specifically at Chamberlain, and is that legitimate? Of course, the answer is yes. Chamberlain is legitimate, so of course their nursing program is legitimate. But not only is their nursing program legitimate, it's also accredited. So Chamberlain is nationally accredited, which very simple terms basically just means that Chamberlain throughout the nation, their program for nursing has met a standard quality of education that allows them to receive something called an accreditation on a national level. And so many different factors goes into a program's accreditation, including, I believe, student to teacher ratios, like the actual course outline or what you're learning in the course design, the program design. There are just different things that go into a program's accreditation. And you really want to make sure that you are going to an accredited school, by the way. And that can be a totally totally separate issue where I'm talking about what to look for when you're applying to nursing programs, but you really want to make sure that the program that you are in or that you were looking at is accredited. Just because if you go to a program that's not accredited, it's not as reputable, you may or may not be able to sit for your board exams, the NCLEX, once you get your degree. Some employers do not even hire nurses from programs that are not accredited. So you really do want to make sure that you are going to a legitimate accredited school. And yes, Chamberlain falls under that category. Now, the next myth or misconception that I hear is that Chamberlain is an easy school to get into. Like Chamberlain's nursing program specifically is easy to get into. And this one is a more complex answer because, I mean, obviously this is subjective. This is not like, is Chamberlain a legitimate university? The answer is yes. There's no gray area. Yes, it's a legitimate university. The nursing program is legitimate. The nursing program is accredited. Is Chamberlain easy to get into? That is more subjective and not like a yes or no type of thing. So I'm going to dive into that one a little bit deeper. So I will say this, Chamberlain is on average less competitive to get into than other four-year universities, specifically state schools. It is on average, I think, less competitive than like your average state school and definitely than community college. But when you're comparing it to other private universities, it's a toss-up. I personally would not say that Chamberlain is easy to get into just because you still need to send Chamberlain your transcripts, whether you're coming fresh out of high school, whether you've done college credits before, whether you have a previous degree. You need to send Chamberlain all of your transcripts. You need to work with an advisor. You still need to fill out the application. You need to sit for your entrance exam. Some schools take the TEAS. Other schools take the HESI. Chamberlain takes the HESI. At least as of me making this video, I had to take the HESI to be able to apply to Chamberlain. You have to get a certain score on the HESI, and then you can get accepted to Chamberlain. Versus other schools, specifically, let's talk about community college. Specifically, when you are going to community college, yes, a community college is typically a 2-year program for the nursing program, but in order to apply, in order to be eligible and to be able to apply to get into a nursing program at a community college, you have to take prerequisites. So you need to, by the time you're filling out your application, you should already have done, for some schools, you need nutrition, anatomy and physiology 1 and 2 need to be completed. Statistics for some schools need to be completed. Chemistry, like you have to get all of that before you even apply. And then once you have all of your prerequisites done, you then have to sit for your entrance exam, whether that's the TEAS or the HESI. You have to get a certain score, just like Chamberlain. And then you have to work with an advisor and apply. And once you apply to a program, you could potentially be applying for a program that has, let's say, 30 seats, and maybe there are about 1,000 to 2,000 applicants. Like it's kind of insane. So you apply. If you were lucky, you get waitlisted. If you're super lucky, you will get in. Other times you'll get denied and you just wasted a bunch of money doing prerequisites specific to that school. It's just this whole kind of, in my opinion, ridiculously unnecessary competitive process. So when you're comparing Chamberlain to like your average community college or even your average state school, yes, Chamberlain is, in my opinion, less competitive to apply to and to get into. I don't even think it's that Chamberlain is less competitive to get into. I think that a lot of schools are unnecessarily over competitive. And that's just my personal opinion. And I can go on a whole tangent about that. I can make a whole other separate video on that. But I feel like there's such a shortage of, there's not a nursing shortage. That's actually another myth that has nothing to do with Chamberlain. There's not a nursing shortage. There is a shortage of nurses at the bedside. So in my opinion, I don't understand why the application process and the process to even get into nursing school is so unnecessarily difficult. And another thing that I will say about Chamberlain is, of course, it's a nationwide school that has different campuses. And as of the time that I applied back in the beginning of 2021. When I applied to my campus, there was no wait list. So you kind of hit all the boxes that you need to do, take the entrance exam, what have you. And then once you applied to the program, as long as your GPA was like within a certain range, as long as you hit the HESI score you needed to hit, pretty much as long as you hit all of the requirements to be able to apply to Chamberlain and get in, you got in, you started classes pretty quickly. I think from the time that I applied to the time that I actually started classes was somewhere between 2 to 4 months. Like, it was really quick, really short. But I will say that at least at the time that I applied, I saw that other campuses, like throughout the nation, I did see that other campuses had wait lists, and I did see that other campuses were more competitive to get in. Okay, now the next myth or misconception that I hear is that Chamberlain is not a good school. It doesn't have a good nursing program. So I will say that I don't necessarily hear people say that Chamberlain is not a good school, but I see a lot of people asking whether or not Chamberlain is a good school and showing that they're nervous that like maybe Chamberlain's nursing program is not good. Like, I see a lot of this specifically on like the Facebook groups. If I'm on Facebook groups with Chamberlain students or prospective Chamberlain students, I'll see people just kind of nervous about it. People that are either early in the program or they're applying to the program or they're about to start, what have you, will constantly ask like, is Chamberlain's nursing program good? Is it a good program? Is it a good school? Is it just like easy? What have you? Chamberlain is, in my opinion, an amazing nursing program, and it's an amazing school. I will first start off by saying this. Even aside from just my personal experience, my mentor, who's my mentor, she is a nurse. She's been a nurse longer than I've been alive. She is a mentor to nurses, prospective nurses. She's a director of nursing, so she has staff underneath her that are like nurses, techs, whatever. And my mom was actually the one that told me about Chamberlain. I was looking to go to a community college, and my mother was actually the one that told me, hey, did you know Chamberlain had a program? And at the time I knew nothing about Chamberlain. I was like, oh, it's like one of those online universities. I did not even know that they had a nursing program. And my mother was the one that was like, no, they're not like just an online university. Yes, they have an online program, but they also have physical campuses and they do have a nursing program. And my mom told me that she had a couple of CNAs, certified nursing assistants, that worked under her, and they worked on her unit. And she was like, they are some of the best CNAs that I know, and they're nursing students. And she was like, I pulled them aside, I let them know that my daughter's interested in going to nursing school. So I wanted to know what schools they were attending and whether or not they liked it. And she told me some of her best CNAs, some of her best techs were nursing students at Chamberlain. And so that surprised her. And so she was like, why don't you look into their program? We can tour the campus. And so we worked together. So my mom will always say straight out of her mouth, she's a director of nursing. She works in a hospital. And she will always say that some of her best techs are Chamberlain students. And also throughout the program, I've been lucky enough to have mentors. Like whenever I go to the hospital for clinical, not at every clinical site that I've been to, because, you know, in my previous videos, I've talked about how not every nurse at a clinical site is thrilled to have nursing students, but some of the best nurses that I've met at clinical who have like taken me under their wing, and they've really taken time to explain things to me, explain processes to me, and served as mentors while I've been in the hospital. Some of them have actually been Chamberlain alumni. So with all of that mixed in with my personal experience at Chamberlain, which has been very positive, I think that Chamberlain is an amazing school. I feel like it's extremely challenging. I feel like there's also like a little bit of a misconception that like maybe it's easier just because it's less challenging to get in, but I have not found that to be true. I am given a lot of coursework, a lot of assignments. I've had friends, unfortunately, in my cohort, or who were in my cohort, either get held behind or, you know, the program was too challenging for them. So it's not a situation where everybody just kind of like passes. I definitely know people that have been held back or who have unfortunately been kicked out of the program. It's a very challenging program, but I think that we learn a lot, and I feel more prepared for, I don't know about the NCLEX yet, I'll be honest, but I feel more prepared for graduating school and entering into the profession than some of my peers that I know at other schools. Okay, so now this last one is not really a myth, but just like the one before this, it's more of a question that I see a lot. Do Chamberlain nursing students have a difficult time getting hired after graduation? And this is one that I really cannot give you an answer like statistically. Again, I'm not affiliated with the school. If you go online, there might be like data on this. I don't know in terms of like percentages, what percentage of students get a job like 3 months after graduation, like a full-time job in the field. So I don't have any like hard facts, but just my personal experience, my personal observation. No, I have never heard of a Chamberlain graduate not being able to find a job, a good job at a reputable facility after graduation. As far as I know, Chamberlain is, at least in my area, Chamberlain is a very respected school. Some of the hospitals that I have gone to for clinical, where they are like, I don't know if I'd say prestigious, but like definitely like respected hospitals, big hospitals, nice hospitals in my area have Chamberlain University graduates. My mother, like I mentioned before, is a director of nursing. She's the boss of her employees. She has employees that are Chamberlain nursing students, and she also has employees that are recent graduates of Chamberlain. And one thing that she's always told me, another reason why she was so in favor of me going to Chamberlain opposed to other schools, is that she would always say that when she would hire a new grad at Chamberlain, she didn't have to worry whether or not they would know their stuff. She said that every Chamberlain hire that she's ever had has always been fully prepared, and she's never had any issues with them, whether it's like whether they know their clinical stuff and just like behavioral issues and how they behave on the job. She's told me that she personally has never had an issue with recent graduates from Chamberlain. So that is it in terms of the different myths and misconceptions that I'm going to be talking about in this video. I didn't want to make too many points because I did not want this video to be too long, but if you've made it to the end of this video, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button. I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you guys so much for watching.